Thanks so much, Jill. It is Wednesday, and that means it's time to check in with our financial guru over here, Jeff Ivory. So we are talking about another big topic. Where there's a will, there's a way. We're talking about wills.
Well, we're talking about estate planning, and even the words elicit some fear with some people. It seems like such an oppressive thing to try and go and get the legal documents together that are there to really protect you and to protect your family in the case of a significant incident that could occur.
When do you start thinking about having a will?
You know, it's funny. Everybody, when I first start talking to clients, they start thinking about having a will and a trust when they're retiring. And the bigger fear to me of a parent of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old is when your kids are young aged, if you don't have a will in place to outline who the guardian's going to be, who the trustee's going to be, where the money's going to go, and something happens to you and your spouse, the courts decide where those kids go. To me, that's far scarier than anything that could happen in retirement.
So with the will, usually a lot of people think about the estate planning of it, of okay, the house is going to go here, this and that, but a lot of times people might just automatically think that they have someone in place, like, oh, you know, it's the godfather, godmother, they're going to take care of it. But unless you don't have it in writing, that could be jeopardized.
Could be sticky, and the courts will decide, and they'll decide based on what the court thinks is right. You know, it's a complicated issue, but I don't want to make it hard. It's actually simple, and my recommendations are to follow through with the will first and understand that you can line out who your beneficiaries are going to be, where the kids are going to go, who the guardians are going to be. Take that basic step first, and then start adding in the pieces to that puzzle that are critical. So we haven't talked about it, but power of attorney and medical power of attorney. Power of attorney just allows your loved ones to make decisions for you when you're unable to do so for yourself. Medical power of attorney, you may remember from a number of years back, the Terry Schiavo case, where where her husband and her family got into a major legal battle over her health issues. Medical power of attorney can put some of that to bed. And then finally, when you're thinking about wills, trust, you get to a trust. And the trust, all a trust is a shell. Think of it as a bucket. You put the different legal pieces into the bucket. If you can simplify what you're looking for and have an attorney draft it up, you can be in good shape on those areas.
And what about for folks who might not have children, single people, or just couples without kids? Is it still important to have a will?
It's important. Let's call it like it is. It's just not as critical, but I still think it's important. Single folks, they have actually some flexibility and have some tools that they can use that are actually easier for them, right? So having a simple will, critical. I think everybody should have a will. More importantly, a power of attorney and a durable power of attorney in medical health care for a single individual can be more crucial than it is for a couple or a family, because if you don't have anybody you've lined out, who does make those decisions? So that can even be far scarier. And then finally, I would tell single folks, a trust is up to you. There are ways through transfers and other items that will work to allow money to get where it's supposed to go without having the courts involved. So there's ways to do it.
All right, thank you so much to Jeff Ivory, always showing up here on a Wednesday morning. If you missed any part of this interview, you could check it out later on cbsdetroit.com. Thanks so much,
Thank you,
Jeff. But you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Jill's travel forecast plus Randy's traffic.